Good morning. Welcome to Simply Remarkable. Happy first day of summer, my favorite season. Now we have a special surprise for you today. I can't wait. Let's go. Greetings to our live audience coming to us from LinkedIn, X, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Took us a minute to get on Instagram. That's why we're a minute late. But we look forward to this wonderful conversation every week so that you get to meet and get to know personally, as we do, our featured speakers here at Remarkable. Now, you get to join in the conversation. So I want to invite you to the chat line. We welcome your conversation so we know you're there. And we'd love to hear from you because that's what we do. We engage with our audiences. Now we have a special surprise today. Now you know that our featured guest was to be David Atkins. He was scheduled to be here today, but he had surgery and had to deal with lots of things from that. So at the last minute, he had to reschedule. We wish you a speedy recovery, David. Absolutely. And you will be on with us again soon. Now, this is what I love about the speakers at Remarkable, a Speakers Bureau. They help each other. They help their clients. And they also help us here at Remarkable. And as we share on Remarkable, should anyone out there need a speaker at the last minute that you've had to schedule, my team is ready to jump in. All you have to do is call us day or night, and they are ready to go. Now, our surprise guest today is the award-winning global keynote speaker, two-time TEDx presenter, communication expert, and best-selling author, Lisa Fay. Now, with a career background as a Coca-Cola executive, she has an MBA from a top business school and training in improv comedy. She brings a unique perspective that makes audiences laugh while they learn. As a sought-after communication expert, MC, and facilitator, Lisa transforms serious business topics into engaging, result-based solution. And her surprising blend of business and humor has earned her the nickname of Lisa Fun Fay. Are you ready to have fun on this Friday? I am. And let's welcome Lisa Fay to Simply Remarkable. Thank you so much for stepping in at the last minute.
Well, as someone trained in improv, if I can't do something last minute, then I am not following my own rules.
That's true. That's true. It's like, oh, yeah. And I know you travel so much because that is the net. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Where are you coming to us from today, though?
Today, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Sunny, warm, hot, sweaty Atlanta.
Yeah, and all of us have these lights all around. So it's like, okay, yeah, we're sweating here, but that's okay because we want to make sure that our audiences get the full effect. Now, this 30 minutes goes by so fast. So we're just going to jump in. Is that okay?
Perfect.
All right. Now, Lisa, you've got this fascinating combination of being a Coca-Cola executive, have an MBA, you have improv comedy training, communication expert, a global keynote speaker, and global guide for work and play. Now, how does these seemingly different paths converge into what you do today? How did all that happen?
Well, when I was working at the Coca-Cola company, I got exposure really to work with some world-class people in sales and marketing and training and development. And at one point, somebody suggested I take an improv comedy class. And they suggested it so often that I finally said, if I take the class, will you quit asking me? And so I signed up, I started taking a class, and I soon realized that what I was learning in the improv comedy classes went directly back to being effective and efficient in communication at work. So I got a call one day asking me to come on a TEDx stage and do, instead of what they called a TEDx talk, a TEDx experience, where instead of just talking with the audience, you engage the audience in activities. And so then I started really infusing improv into my ongoing communication speeches, because quite honestly, one of the biggest, most important skills that we need is the ability to listen and connect. But nobody wants to go to a listening workshop or hear somebody talk about listening. So when you shroud it in what is fun and engaging and things that you can remember to execute easily, people are more apt to enjoy it and not realize that what they're really learning are skills about listening and connection. So I kind of folded all of that together. And then with my passion also for travel, I've traveled to 115 countries now.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That's just amazing. I just came back from a Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, which is places that see less than 1,000 people a year visit these islands.
Wow.
So when you go to places like that, especially, you realize, we're all more alike than we're different. These people, they want to feed their families. They want to get them a good education. They, want their kids to do better than they did. And when you visit places that don't have a written language, so their history is told in song and dance, and that's how their history and background is passed on. It even really more incorporates what the power of communication is and how you can adapt it to what you need and sharing your messages. So it really invigorates me, and it's helped me really take a whole shift in not only continuing to talk about communication, but linking my experiences with travel into that and talk about how really your life is just a journey. It's like a plane trip.
It certainly is. And people today in our country, we don't always get interested about other countries, other people as much. And you bring that to us. And let me just tell you, audience, you need to make sure that you're connected to Lisa Faye on Instagram and anywhere she is located, because she puts out such wonderful experiences that she has done, and even all the culture and all the scenes of the country, so you feel like you're there. And I love that. I just appreciate you doing that, so that you're there for a travel purpose, you're there for a learning experience, and you're getting research for what you do, and combining it. So I love that. I love that. You're excellent at doing that. So thank you for having that passion to travel and sharing the world with us.
Oh, you're so, and I'm so glad when I hear from somebody that it really resonates, because I am very blessed to be able to go like where I just was, where very few people in the world ever go. And it's an amazing experience for me. But if I can share that amazing experience, it makes the world a lot smaller for a lot of other people as well.
Exactly. And can you imagine being in her audience? I bet those pictures are wonderful that you can incorporate. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Now, tell us about, you say that you make audiences laugh while they learn. Now, is there some science behind why humor makes information stick, or what is it?
Well, there's a few things. So not only did I do improv comedy, I studied stand-up, and I tried that a couple of times. And let me tell you, that's the hardest thing ever for me. But one of the things that you learn is how people remember things and some simple rules to use, if you will. The rule of three. You always talk about things in threes because threes is programmed into people's minds. Use hard consonants, not soft consonants. Again, it hooks the ear differently. And that people are more apt to remember things when they have an emotion around it. So if you think about just going out to dinner, and then think of going out to dinner with friends who have told stories. There was a funny situation with the valet that happened. Somebody got the meal wrong. Your friend had one too many glasses of wine. All of those things that happen in that make that meal experience so much more memorable. The same way is if I'm going to a meeting, and especially if I'm hearing speaker after speaker after speaker that are all talking heads, the ones that I really remember are the ones that make me feel, the ones that engage me, that cause me to think and cause me to do something, and that give me something I can go do tomorrow. You know, I've got a couple of books out, and they're all about 52 ideas. So one idea a day, less than 125 words. It's all about having the ability to be able to go do something tomorrow. Small, actionable, memorable, engaging. I think those are the most critical points that, I mean, I can tell you all the research, and I can give you a bunch of facts, and I can give you 100 slides that have details and numbers on them. That's not what you're going to remember. You're going to remember the activity that I asked you to do with the person that you're sitting beside. And if it just happens to make you laugh a little bit too, it's even more memorable. So that's the things I think that are important when I engage an audience.
Exactly. And I have been in her audience, and she will engage whether you want to or not. No, that's not true. Everybody wants to because they see the advantage. And you're right. They just come to her afterwards wanting to know more. So that is key when I see Lisa at work, what she is actually doing there. Now, Lisa, as a communications expert, and you are, what's the biggest communication mistake you see leaders making in our current today's workplace?
I think, and you know, I don't think it's just leaders. I think it's most people in our country today. And it goes back to listening. We spend so much time formulating in our head our response for what I believe you're saying and where you're going, especially if I don't agree with you, that I don't stop and listen to try to understand. And if I stop and listen for those common ground moments, it enables us to have a conversation that builds on each other and makes it more robust and helps us build a relationship instead of this combative, I say, you say, I say, you say, I say, you say. The conversation goes nowhere. Nobody's mind has changed. No information has been shared, and no greater understanding has been given. Finding common ground with you doesn't mean I agree with everything you say. It means there's a piece of what you said that I can find an alignment on and be able to learn more. And that's probably the most powerful thing I learned from improv and practicing improv was the ability to do that. And together we're stronger when we have a shared common ground.
This is so true. And I can see that at work because we all have issues sometimes listening. We want to interrupt each other. We want to get our ideas out there. Sometimes I do that because I think I'm going to forget what I was thinking. Why am I even thinking to begin with instead of listening? And so that I can see that. That's powerful. Okay, everybody listening on that one? Yeah.
And I think an even greater leader has the ability to pull those, I call it the people on the edges, to pull those people that for some reason they maybe they're not confident enough. They don't think their idea is important enough. They think they're going to be devalued if they speak up. Is a great leader has the ability to pull them into the conversation and to not negate anybody's idea, no matter what, and rather find what's good in that idea, even if it's a little outrageous or off the top. I think that's what a great leader does. In fact, we play this game where everybody shares an idea and everybody else has to build off that idea no matter what it is. And at the end, they say, what are the 2 or 3 things as we built that up are the really good principles that we can pull into the solution? It's not about the overall big idea, but it's like, oh yeah, I didn't think about adding theme music to it. That would make it better. So whatever we do, we need theme music. But that theme music would have never come out in a fully baked solution if you hadn't used the power of the group and the power of opposing ideas on what we should do to peel them back to find out the great piece that exists within each of them.
You're so right. And humor and music they're creative things that do that with people. I know just in our show here, we've been doing this 3 seasons and we decided we needed something a little extra, right? Mm-hmm. And one of our speakers, they have a band as well as speak. And they created our tune for us. So I had it right there. So it was like, okay, Dawn and Dina Preston did an excellent job on our theme music. And it does. It really makes it the conversation be a conversation instead of an interview. And that's what we wanted. And that was I can see that how that applies. That is so key.
And the music that you have selected creates the setting. It sets the mood, right? If it was slow, dreary music, we would be, okay, it's time to talk. Instead, it's upbeat. It makes me happy. It gets me moving and dancing, and it brings energy to everything you do after you hear it.
Right. They just don't see us dancing while we got the music going, but that's okay. We are. Now, Lisa, tell us, what communication trends are you watching right now that others may be missing?
I think the biggest things that I am currently watching is what messaging people are choosing to use, and if they are trying to build momentum in a broad way or a narrow way. There are choices that everybody makes when we communicate about either trying to persuade people to get to our side, and if they are doing that in an inclusive manner, about finding that common ground, or if they're trying to do it in an opposing manner to move or position someone else negatively. We just had a recent early vote in Atlanta, and I got flooded with some of the candidates for local positions that are running. And it was interesting who messages as the bigger ideas that we all find and we all want to fight, and then who is just their messaging is anti the other person. Yeah. And the momentum and energy that creates behind both of those. I think that's the biggest thing I'm watching now and seeing kind of how that is moving through not only what we're seeing on the national news, the local news, but it impacts people's daily conversations, quite honestly.
It does. It does. And we don't realize it till it happens. And then you realize, oh, I'm caught into this.
Yep.
And then it's too late. But here, this is really key because you do a lot of that work too, I'm sure. Just like I have one of our speakers is a body language expert, and she's certainly busy on that end as well, because it goes hand in hand. The messaging, the body language, all that goes hand in hand. So thanks for sharing that, because that's interesting to see those trends and see what it's going to turn out.
Yep.
We don't know. But as someone like you who's been in both corporate and now serves corporate clients, what's the biggest shift you're seeing in what organizations want from the speakers they are hiring today, like you?
I see that more people are wanting engagement. They are tired. Their people are tired of being talked at for long periods of time without involving the audience and or having key takeaways. They also don't want the same canned speech that you do every single place. So while I may have a title of a speech and an outline of objectives, it is absolutely critical that I meet with the clients I'm working with to understand at the end of this meeting or the end of this session, what do you want people to feel, do, and say? Regardless of what my topic is. And then it is imperative on me to make sure that I help them get to that destination. And I also ask for the right to improve the plan at any point. So if I see where you're headed in a direction that's not going to help deliver that to them, whether I'm the MC, whether I'm doing a keynote, a breakout, the ability to re-bring that back in to make sure that they are ending up in the destination, I think is absolutely critical. And more, the people that have spent a lot of times developing meetings, I think understand this. I think the biggest challenge for people that are focused on putting together meetings for the first time, when I have that conversation, it's a huge awareness. I mean, I've had several times where the client said, that's a great question. I don't know. Let me go back and think about that and then come back to you with that think, feel, say. And that has helped them hone in their entire session, not just one piece that's a keynote. And I think that's critical. I mean, a keynote is a piece of something. Everything should be saying the same thing, giving them the same feeling, and it should be used as a stepping stone to help them deliver their overall business results that they want to deliver.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, because that's key. That's key. And we have a lot of event planners that follow us and a lot of people that are hiring speakers. And we want to make sure that we're getting on the pulse so that we can assure you that, hey, we're gonna deliver what you want. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, Lisa, your books are such fun to read. And the trend is I am seeing out here. Now, I've got all kinds here, New York Times bestsellers, which are thick, whatevers. And the small ones, though, I see are coming out really, really ahead. Because the one you have out, improve your communications, 52 tips on how to do that, and it's wisdom, but it's easy, but you're laughing and learning. Got some laughter in here. And then this one you wrote for students and athletes called Polishing Your Communications. Do they not need that? Yes, they do. But what do you have coming out new for us?
Well, I think my newest keynote I'm really excited about, which really helps you look at your world and your life as maximizing your journey. I look at your journey as if it were a plane trip. The only reason you ever do anything in your life is you want to grow something, or you have a problem and you want to fix it. Same thing for a trip, right? If I want to go on vacation, it's because I did a good job, I got my bonus, and now I'm going to go celebrate with a trip. Or, wow, I'm so bored, I need a break, I need to relax, I'm going to do a trip. So you're either in growth or you're in trouble, and you make a decision that you're going to go on a trip. Now, there's a million different ways to go on a trip. I can fly, I can drive, you explore all of those different ways. And then you finally make a decision to make a plan. And you go to the airport and you're so excited. But you like to think that your trip, like your life, is always a direct flight, and it hardly ever is. In reality, life is a series of connections. Now, in the first section where I'm talking about growth and trouble, honestly, that's sales 101. In the middle, where I'm talking about connections, whether it's going through a different city or having something else happen to you, it's really about connecting with the opportunities that are there. And I really talk about the skills of improv and communication there. And then you land at your destination at the end. And I think I've arrived when I hit that airport and go to that taxi stand or get my rental car. But the reality is you haven't really arrived until you leave the airport. And then you go around and you check out that destination and you figure out what you like and what you didn't like. And again, it could be the destination and what I love about Honolulu or what I don't like about Honolulu, or it could be the job. I finally got that promotion to be a manager. Oh, wow. I mean, I really love that I get to lead a team, but boy, the work I used to do, I don't get to do that anymore. So again, it creates this area of opportunity that I want to grow, or trouble, I'm not really happy. And what do you do then? You go all the way back around and start at the beginning and figure out other alternatives and go through. And what I really talk about, especially when you're exploring your destination, is how to hit a new job running, how to make a powerful first 90 days and really accelerate your performance from the get-go. So the ability to have a keynote that talks about everything you know in the form of a trip, and also the ability to do deep dives on sales, communication, and hitting the ground running really helps me encompass everything I have learned from my business background, my speaking engagements I've had across the country to learn from clients and what's going on, and incorporating everything I've learned in travel, and really how to make this simple and easy to understand for your average person. So that's what I'm excited about now.
Wow. I'm excited already. How about this? Oh, wow. Thanks for joining us, Janine. She says that she loves the, okay, here it is. It's kind of faint over there when you're trying to read. Okay. I love the analogy of an airport. Leadership is a journey. I love that. Thank you. See, you hit another speaker's, which we love dearly. And it's a great idea. Thank you for sharing that, Janine. So we got it there. Now, Lisa, you wouldn't believe, this goes by so fast. So in closing, what are you going to do today to be remarkable? And do you have anything else you want to share with us?
Today, to be remarkable, I'm going to be the best auntie in the world. I bought my musical nephew 2 handmade instruments, one from Papua New Guinea and one from Vanuatu that I'm sending him for his birthday to make me a remarkable auntie.
Yes. Oh, yay. And we've got to do that. We've got to stay in touch with our family and combine it all. That's it. And thank you for joining us today. And to our audience out here, what are you going to do to be remarkable? Maybe you heard something from Fun Faye today that will help you understand. We'd love to know that. Share it in the comments. We would love to see that. And or you can contact us anywhere else if you don't have it in the comments. Now, again, thanks so much, Lisa, for jumping in and joining us today. Oh, Lindy, thank you. She enjoys your vibe, Lisa. All right. This is exactly. And we wish you, Lisa, a remarkable rest of the 2025 and much success in helping improve communication around the world by teaching them how to laugh and learn. I just love it. I love it. Now, event planners out there, if you are looking to make an organizational shift that will bring greater impact and success to your team and your organization, it's time to bring in Lisa Fun Faye and get ready to learn, laugh, and change the world, because she can help you do that. Just contact us today to have her at your next event. It's on the screen here, and you can reach us at Remarkable Speakers Bureau. We would love to hear from you. And as we say, let's be remarkable together, because we can do that. Now, we hope that you will join us again next Friday, June 27th. Can you believe June is almost gone, Lisa?
I know.
I mean, really, it just goes. Where our featured guest next week will be the luckiest unlucky person in the world, Courtney Clark. She is an international resilience and revolutionary thinking fun keynote speaker. She's a 4-time World Trade Center related cancer and brain aneurysm survivor. She's a best-selling author. And Courtney has cracked the code on resilience by living it and researching it. She helps people become more productive during a change by creating a culture of adaptability and growth resilience, not just, as she says, grit resilience. So come next week and hear. You won't want to miss this. This is a fascinating journey that she's been on, and you'll walk away inspired and have a better understanding of and how to have more resilience in your life. Again, thanks everyone for joining us today. I love what I get to do every day. It's amazing, and I wouldn't choose anything else. And remember to continue to pray and support those who are still recovering from the devastating effects of Hurricane Helene, Milton, and the California fires, especially here in Western North Carolina. It's going to be a long-term recovery for these people. We can't forget them. So I want you to know that there's always ways to help, and they still need our help. Now, I am wishing you a happy first summer weekend, and we will see you here next week. Thanks for joining us, Lisa.
Thank you.